เพลงนี้ขอมอบให้บรรดาผู้ที่ไม่ยอมแก่ทั้งหลาย
Aloha, Scooterheads. Dagwood Street's your host of the Electric Scooter Podcast, coming to you from the Big Mango. That's right, I'm in Bangkok, Thailand, land of smiles. If you heard previous podcasts, you know that the Electric Scooter Podcast is going to be coming to an end as far as me being the host. The Electric Scooter Guide will come out with their own podcast, they say, in the month of March. So I am winding down these podcasts, not because I'm not interested in scooters anymore, but I've got a lot of life changes coming up, and I'm going to be redirecting my focus. If for some reason you like the sound of my voice or you want to continue following what I'm getting up to, I will have a podcast about Thai language and Thai food, and I started a new channel called Dagwood's Thailand. So if you happen to be interested in Thailand, maybe check me out. If not, no big whoop, right? Because this is all a hobby. I'm not in anybody's pockets. I'm not working for any corporation. The little button you can click that says, do you want to be monetized, is unclicked.
I make no money from doing this podcast. I make no money. How you like me now? I make no money from doing this podcast. I make no money. How you like me now?
What is that? I made the song and even I don't know. I know the echo goes on way too long though. And speaking of audio, I am using Bluetooth wireless microphones because I'm on the other side of the world and I am not in my podcast studio. So if you hear trucks going by, all kinds of noises happening out the window, just know I'm not in an ideal situation, but I'm doing the best I can. I think it sounds okay, right? So as we wind down the last few episodes of the Electric Scooter Podcast, I honestly don't know how many more there will be. I'm just having fun with it, okay? And one of the things that was really enjoyable to me, I hope you'll enjoy it as much as I did, was just talking with Ginger on Wheels. When he came down from the Northwest to the vast desert of the Meadows. Yes, Las Vegas means the Meadows. Little Espanol for you scooter heads there. And again, if you've been following the podcast, you know I traveled to Ecuador in an effort to pick up some Spanish. But now I'm redirecting my efforts to try and learn the Thai language because it looks like I might be here for a while. At least that's my intention as it occurs to me at the moment. I enjoy it here. I'm going to stay here, travel the country. I am familiar with the country already, having spent time in Thailand. I enjoy it. The people are great. The food is awesome. The prices are low. The weather is, well, the weather's too hot. There's no getting around that. So I'm going to check out a few of the spots in Thailand, maybe where the weather is a little more simpatico. So come along for the ride, the Electric Scooter Podcast in its swan song. I'm going to try and keep it still interesting. You're going to want to listen to these last episodes. I'm not going to just peter out, Although, what did Neil Young say? It's better to burn out than to fade away. So let's burn out together. Here's some excerpts from the conversation I had with Ginger on Wheels. To set the stage for you, we are in the Scooter Dome podcast studio in Las Vegas, and sitting above Ginger's head are, how do I describe this? Well, it's a Kleenex box, but in the shape of two large female breasts in a bikini top. It's tasteful. Don't read too much into this, okay? It's not a sexist kind of thing or anything. I'm a landlord. I had a tenant who moved out and he left something hanging on the wall. It's a tissue box, and you pull the tissues from in between the cleavage. It just happened to be laying around. I had a nail on the wall, and I just stuck it up there. There's no hidden meaning behind it. There's no kind of, this is how we should or shouldn't treat women or make objects of them or anything. It's a Kleenex box, okay? But it was right over his head, and I suppose it caught his eye.
It's actually a napkin holder.
That's the most unique napkin holder I've ever seen.
It's a horrible place to hang it, but I already had a nail there. Do you ever, you already have a nail in your wall and you're looking for a place to hang something, so you just go for wherever that nail's are? That's the ultimate in laziness.
It's funny. I do that with household items like pictures and just things that need to be hung on walls. Maybe a shelf if there's already a little screw hole there. But with all my scooter riding gear, I bought this huge metal pegboard, and I found the studs, and I screwed this huge metal pegboard into my wall, and it's got clips, and I clip all my helmets and my riding gloves and my pads and everything on the wall because I have so many different sets of them that it's taking up an entire room.
I'll bet I've seen that on a video, and I probably just didn't pay
It's just in the background.
attention.
Yeah, you'll notice when you're looking for it.
And do you have a cat?
I had two, yeah.
What were the cats' names?
Nismo, which is the racing division
Oh, yeah.
of
Nissan,
and Gatsby.
Nissan, and
after Mr. Great
Nismo
Gatsby.
and Gatsby. Should have been maybe, I'm trying to think, Nismo and Toyota Racing Division or something like that, but it's Turd.
Oh.
Yeah, you look at their trucks, they always say Turd on the side.
Oh, that's bad PR.
Never really cared for that. All right, well,
We named him Nismo though because he was always racing around the house. That's what that came from.
PEV, Firelight.
The Firelight.
What's happening with it? Where is it? Where can we get it? Why is it better than other headlights?
So, the story behind the PEV Firelight. I should start at the beginning. Most scooters have terrible headlights, and I used to work a 9 to 5, and it gets dark early in the winter in Washington, so I always found myself needing a good headlight. I had bought plenty of headlights on Amazon. Eventually, the batteries would wear out, or I'd get them and they just weren't bright at all, and it seemed like you couldn't trust any of the specs on the product pages for Amazon because they just no regulation at all there. Some of them say 100,000 lumens. I'm like, okay, that's not as bright as the sun, sir. But I just wanted to I got sick of these really crappy flashlights, and I just decided to make my own flashlight. So I wanted to make a flashlight that was true to spec. So I made a 2,000 lumen flashlight with 10,000 milliamp hour batteries. I wanted it to be really high quality, metal housing. I wanted it to be waterproof, and I wanted it to be almost universally fit onto any scooter. So I found an existing mold for a flashlight that was already sold on AliExpress, and I contacted the company that made that mold, because if you want to make your own mold, it's $50,000 or something just to start. And then I got a bunch of those molds, and then I got really high quality battery cells, and then I got really high quality LEDs. I tested a bunch of different LEDs. We put rubber gaskets in all of the entry levels where the flashlight's actually pushed together, and just made a really high quality flashlight. And we got them all through production. We got them imported, and now they're shipping to customers. And I've never heard anyone say anything bad about one.
Does it have an IP rating?
It's IP65, but it's underrated. I just to be cover all my bases. I didn't want to have any sort of liability issues, but I have personally held a Firelight underwater and it's run for minutes. And in the demo video I made, I can actually show you. It's on my phone. I'm talking about the Firelight while holding it under a running faucet.
Wow. And one crucial detail, I believe, about the PEV Firelight is you can use it on your handlebars, and you can remove it and just use it as a flashlight?
Yeah, that's a pretty cool thing that's been happening in Seattle. There's a bunch of people that use the Firelight now, and they're starting to make 3D printed accessories for it, like GoPro handles and things, so they can hold on to it. And like one guy made us this big white bulbous 3D printed thing, so you can pop it on the top of the Firelight, and it turns into a light that can light your whole room. It turns into a big bulb. And there's also a trail blinder where you can like clip it onto the front of the light, and it will make a perfectly level top piece to the light, so you can shine it down and keep it out of people's eyes as you're going down the trail, like oncoming trail goers.
I could see a lot of uses for that. I'm going to go out and show you my DIY van here in a minute. Not that there's anything great about it. I'm not super handy, but I could see riding my scooter as we're parked somewhere. The wife stays inside the van, and she says, I need a Third Reich swizzle stick and a pound of salami. And so I jump on the scooter and come back. It's dark. Put the scooter away, and as I'm negotiating the rocks or whatever, wherever we're parked, I'm using that as a flashlight to get to the front door, and then using it also inside of the van.
Yeah, you could do that. It does.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Clips on and off the handlebars. It's got a GoPro accessory mount too, so you can mount it to any type of GoPro mount that there is.
Wow, that is pretty cool. Have you ever considered selling some of these mods that people are making, like the light, the dome that goes over it?
I've got one for sale, the GoPro accessory mount, but some of them are still, I'd say, too rudimentary looking to, like, they haven't got the prints down clean enough that I'd feel comfortable selling them for money. I might just put the STL file up for download, though, for people to 3D print themselves.
That's a good idea. I mean, it's good for the consumer. It's not so good for you, maybe.
Yeah,
I mean, you could make
really
some money just selling them.
I'm in it just mostly to help the community, but making money on the side is a nice side effect.
Yeah, that's great. And I'm all about that. You've heard me mention the Firelight and another product that's possibly in the works, because I think if you are a Scooterhead, you should buy your products from another Scooterhead. Not just because altruism, it's a good thing to do, let's help out our fellow community members. While that is true, you know that somebody like you who uses these products crucially and tests them day in and day out, as the person spending the money, you know that is obviously going to be more likely to fit your needs than some corporate fat cat in a boardroom, coming up with designs and what's the bottom line and how many can we crank out for the bottom denominator, cheapest money.
It blows me away how many things you see that you can buy and you're like, how did this go through R&D and make it through production? It literally doesn't work.
Right. You
made them by the million and shipped them to
and
people?
Sometimes you'll see a YouTube video of somebody advocating it, saying, hey, buy this, it's cool, it's neat. And they focus on the ASMR, like, ooh, I'm going to rip off the little outside and put it next to the microphone so you can hear it. And
that's always kind of creeped me out, the whole ASMR thing. Yeah. I don't get that.
Yeah, I don't either. I have Oculus VR, and I tried doing some of the VR, like it was a Korean lady was going to clean my ears, I think, or something. You're sitting there, and
some ASMR thing?
You feel like a weird little tickle on your ear, and it sent a chill up my spine that was not pleasurable. I didn't dig it, but that's cool. I know there's people that like that and they're into that. So whatever.
You know, we are definitely in the minority here because those videos have hundreds of millions of views. Some of the
Unboxing.
ASMR
People like
videos,
unboxing too, where you
It's
you hear
creepy.
the noise of the knife
Yep.
opening the
digging
package.
through every little, piece of cardboard and ripping through the label, and you can hear the people's lips.
Right. Those people watching that and enjoying that, and again, I'm not putting you down because, hey, to each his own. You do you, buddy. You know what I'm saying? But I also just don't get it.
This while we're on this topic, I should say Varla reached out to me when they sent me the Pegasus. A couple months later, it has solid tires, and
Oh,
yeah,
are they solid nylon?
yes, they're like a nylon rubber compound.
So they're slippery.
They're semi-slippery, not fully. But they wanted me to do a video where I was running over different various sharp and random objects with the tire to show how puncture-proof they were.
I like that idea.
Yeah, I liked it too. And so I said, sure, I'll do that. That sounds kind of fun. So I got some tacks and some nails and some random food things like eggs and yogurt and stuff to run over, and filmed it in like slow-mo HD.
Yogurt, I would hope. Yogurt doesn't damage the tire.
No, but it was just fun to watch.
Okay.
Blowing out all slow-mo out of
Right,
the side
right,
of the
yeah.
tire. Because I saw there was a video of a guy doing that in a car, and it had like literally over 100 million views.
Wow.
And so I was thinking, if I do this right,
Yeah.
this could be the video.
A billion views.
Got like 600 views.
Really?
Yeah, it did terrible, but it was fun to make.
Do you know how many views were on YouTube for the year 2022? Because I know.
Oh,
Make a guess. I heard it on the radio this morning.
190 billion.
You're not that far off.
Really?
It's less.
Less?
80 billion is what they said.
Sheesh.
80 billion with a B.
That's a lot of billion.
That's big billions, buddy.
There are 80 billion gallons of water in the ocean.
Really?
Really?
Well, then why are we always worried about water in Las Vegas?
Salt.
Yeah, well, Middle Eastern countries, I guess that's what they do. They suck the salt out of the water. And San Diego says they're going to do it too. In San Diego, they have a water
desalination
czar.
plants?
Yeah,
What do you mean?
desalinization. They have a water czar, and he's an engineer, and he makes a lot of money. And people in San Diego pay a premium for water, but they never have to worry about water in the future. They've got everything laid out. And Las Vegas is very good at saving water. What we do, they say we're the model for every other country in the world as far as like turning your urine into drinking water or whatever.
Or turning your
It doesn't
backyard
get
into
wasted.
a rock bed.
Yeah.
No lawn.
Yeah, all that.
Just get rid of the lawn.
All that kind of stuff. Yeah, the lawns got to go. If you like lush green lawns, maybe the desert's not the place for you. The PEV Firelight. Brought to you by Ginger on Wheels. You gotta have it. You gotta get it. PEVFirelight.com. Do it. Just do it. Now we'd like to play a game, if you're willing, that I like to call Rapid Fire. And
Rapid
that's
fire.
Rapid Fire. I just ask you a couple questions, and you just say anything off of the top of your head. There's nothing right. There's no wrong answers.
It's time for the rapid fire. Get ready for the rapid fire. I'm gonna say some words now. Give me your reaction. Just give me your reaction. It's time for the rapid fire. It's time for the rapid fire. It's time for the rapid.
Okay, let's go.
Best color for a scooter.
Navy green.
Navy. You mean army green? The Navy's blue, dude.
Oh yeah, army green.
Olive drab, I think. Is what you're
Olive
saying.
drab. Yeah, like a
Olive
matte
drab.
green color. I really like it. Goes
I agree
good
with
my
that.
red hair.
No, I dig that too. I dig it on motorcycles. I dig it on cars.
It looks
yeah,
good.
That's a good one. For me, I like orange, so I probably go with a black and orange. What is the last band you've been listening to that kind of gets stuck in your head?
Does the theme song from Electric Scooter
Your own
Podcast
song?
count?
Yes.
It's your song.
The
but
band I've been listening to the most and really getting into is Dagwood Streets.
No, I don't really. I used to really get into bands and different songs, but now I just turn on Spotify and whatever plays. I don't really pay attention to.
Yeah, because they have an algorithm. I listen to YouTube. There's a separate YouTube for music. I don't know if you know. There's a YouTube
there's
Music.
YouTube Music you can subscribe to.
I like that, and I have Amazon Music, and I don't know. A couple years ago, I put in a couple bands I like, and they just took it from there. They're like, "Oh, if you like the Jay Giles band, then you'll probably like this." If
Exactly.
you like, yeah.
Unless something's really bad playing.
That's
in which
true.
case, I just double tap the play button on my Bluetooth speaker and skip it.
They do that once in a while. They sneak in a stinker every once in a while,
Yeah.
just to make sure. I think just to test the waters to see if the
See if
algorithm
they're
is
still on track.
yeah, it's flowing in your direction. I think they do that. You know, you're listening to Black Sabbath, Children of the Grave, and all of a sudden, sky rockets in flight, afternoon delight comes up, and you're like, what? You can't hit that fast skip button fast enough. You just can't do it. Do you know what that's about? Have you ever heard that song, Skyrockets in Flight?
Afternoon Delight?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what that's
You know,
about.
you know what it's about?
It's got the secret double entendre
It
meaning.
could have been called Nooner.
Could have been.
But it doesn't sound as good if you're just singing Nooner.
Nope.
About 12 guys and girls with too much makeup on and too high hair screaming Nooner. I don't think that would do it. Okay, so band, color. If you were going to buy a scooter today and you could only have one, what scooter would it be? And please be specific.
The Nami Bernie Max.
Really?
Yeah.
Why that? Not that I'm disagreeing, but why that over the Wolf King Pro GT?
It's faster. Off the line.
That's the only reason?
That's it.
Doesn't maneuverability count in your book?
I mean, maybe I'm unique in some way, but it's such a subtle difference that you get used to it and then you can just shred it regardless.
Oh, see, that's why when I rode them side by side, I liked the Wolf King GT so much. So it might also work the other way. If I didn't ride them side by side, I wouldn't be so biased.
Or maybe if you just rode the Nami for a couple 100 miles. Because they say in the electric unicycle community, when people have questions or they say, I don't like the wheel or I was getting speed wobbles or something, everyone will just come back immediately and say, have you ridden it for 100 miles? Because you don't know how to ride it unless you've ridden it for 100 miles. It's something you got to get used to. The geometry and the throttle curve, get used to how it's going to accelerate and brake and steer.
Is it a myth or is it true that on an electric unicycle, you are more likely to end up hurting yourself as opposed to a scooter?
Yes, but not for the reason you think.
Okay.
I think inherently they're not more dangerous. And I would argue that they're actually less dangerous if you're just riding casually. But most people that get on electric unicycles, the thrill of feeling like you're on a rocket paired skis, like it's just so much fun that you have to go faster. And eventually you'll find the limit of either your wheel or your skill set and crash.
Now, what do you do when you come up on a curb?
Hop up the curb.
You keep going? You can jump a curb on a unicycle?
Yeah, there's two different things you can do. You can either glue a set of pads on the side of the unicycle and actually pull the wheel up using your legs, or you can do the bonk method where you just kind of bonk your front tire into it and the sponginess of the tire will push your wheel up. Oops.
Wow. The first time you do that, it's got to be nervous.
You
Huh?
get used to it pretty quick, but yeah, the first time is you're ready to fall.
Wow. There's a learning curve for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's the thing with electric unicycles. I've seen people hop on and ride and learn it in an hour, and I've seen people that have to practice for a couple hours every day for a few weeks before they get the basics down.
I interviewed somebody one time, and I'm not going to call this person out. I don't know if you can figure it out or not, but I did not put it on the episode because it was almost kind of negative sounding. I don't know. I just want us all to be a big, happy community. But he went specifically from the electric unicycle. This is someone else's words describing it. He went from the electric unicycle community to the scooter community, which I think it's all the PEV community or micromobility community. But he said that he found the scooter community, and he's talking about not just riding, but group riding and forums, the way they talk to each other and everything. He found the electric scooter community more accommodating. He thought people on electric unicycles were more
Absolutely.
aggressive. Oh, that's true then.
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the electric scooter community is full of newbies, and experienced people are usually willing to help because they were all newbies. But electric unicycle heads are diehard fans of their product, and they know all the specs of everything, and they're following the latest wheels and the latest techniques and the best gear, and everyone's trying to copy and be the best, and it's really competitive. It seems like every fifth unicycler has a YouTube channel or something they're trying to promote, and it's just really aggressive, and they'll come at you hard if you ask a newbie question and you didn't do your research.
That's exactly what he was saying.
But the electric scooter community will be happy to answer your question, and you'll see in the comments 3 of the same answer for one question because everyone's trying to help.
So on group rides, do you see the unicycle guys? Are they more likely to have bandages on them when they're riding?
I mean, if the electric unicycle guys crash, they're not going to come because they're broken. If you crash on you
crash hard.
You're good. You're done for a month or so.
Yeah.
But, some guys will show up with broken arm, or I crashed last week and my toe's all taped to my other toe, but I'm still here.
Oh, wow. So take for example me, I'm a surfer, I'm a motorcycle rider, I'm a skateboarder. If I were going to elect to purchase a unicycle, what brand would you recommend for a first timer?
King Song 16X, I think would fit you nicely.
The King Song what?
16X.
16X.
It's like the most well-rounded, thoroughly tested, intermediate level wheel that there is.
And how much they cost about?
I think it's like $1,600 or $1,700. I might be wrong.
Comparable to a scooter.
Yeah,
but
they're the wheel that unicycle companies can sell, and they hear back from customers the least because they just don't. Nothing goes wrong.
Are unicycles in general more maintenance free than scooters?
Way lower maintenance. Scooters, it seems like there's always something wrong, clicking or breaking, or my tire popped, or my throttle cracked, or something. With a unicycle, the only thing you need to do is replace the tire every 5,000 miles. That doesn't even have brake pads. Just electric brakes.
Yeah, maybe I should try a unicycle. I'm a little bit shy after breaking my arm completely in half on a
I would be too, man.
Yeah.
From what I heard, that was a pretty gnarly break.
Yeah. But, you move on, right? You do it, and then you move on.
Live and learn.
Scooterheads have to think about safety. Don't want to get creamed by an F-150.
Yeah, Scooterheads, keep scooting fun. Don't get hurt. Wear your safety gear out there. Well, that about does it for episode 109, the penultimate episode of the Electric Scooter Podcast. Can you believe it? 2 years. And as of next episode, the final episode, 110 episodes, all about our favorite hobby, scooting. But you want to stay tuned for episode 110 because we're continuing our conversation with Ginger on Wheels. He's going to recommend a scooter for first-time buyers, tell us his favorite scooter, period, of all time, teach us a little bit about batteries, and we're going to come up with some names for scooters that don't exist. There's some cool names out there. Yeah, Wolf Pro's pretty cool. Panther's pretty cool. But there's a lot of lame names for scooters. We're going to remedy that next episode. So stick around for episode 110, the last episode of the Electric Scooter Podcast. Until that time, scooter heads, keep the shiny side up. dirty side down. Please be safe. Aloha.